pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Senior packages were due in December. Please contact Mrs. Parker before January 15th if you have not chosen a package already.
Students, please be advised. Quarter 2 ends on Wednesday, January 27, 2021. You have approximately 3.5 weeks to improve grades you received on your Quarter 2 progress report. Check your SchoolMax account every week and email your teachers if you have any questions or concerns weekly. Do not wait until the week before Quarter 2 ends to email administrators, counselors, and teachers about missing or make-up assignments. It will be too late.
The biliteracy class will meet with Miss Arazosa every Wednesday during the second period leading up to the exam in February. If you have any questions or concerns, please email Miss Arazosa. Thank you.
Seniors, you must complete your cap and gown form and select your senior package no later than January 13th. The link for the form is posted on the school's website under the Senior tab.
The Appreciation Club will meet today, Wednesday, January 13th at 10:15 a.m.
Senior photo makeup dates are on January 27th through the 29th. Please sign up now, for spaces are limited. There is no setting fee if you just need the yearbook photo done.
We are still accepting senior selfie videos from the members of the class of 2021. These videos will be aired weekly and need to include you wearing Largo gear, your name, your favorite subject, your favorite hobby, advice you would give to the underclassmen, your future plans for college and career, and the video should be no longer than 60 seconds.
Largo High School STEM Fair is on Wednesday, January 27th. All project links will be posted on the day of in the school website and science department page. Thank you.
Students, it is important for you to know that if you encounter technical issues and you can't attend classes, please have your parents alert your teachers of the tech difficulty via email and include your grade level administrator on that email.
Students, if you are absent from school, please remind your parents and your guardians that they must notify the school, teachers, counselors, and administrators in writing within the first 3 days of your return to school. They are to provide a brief explanation for the absence so that it can be reflected in SchoolMax. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. It's Leslie, and here's your hot topic for today. As you know, supremely self-absorbed President Donald J. Trump has officially conceded as President-elect Joe Biden will be serving for the next term. Woohoo! Insert your enthusiasm here. President Trump has been banned on many social media platforms as donors have pulled away from his many corporations. And for our generation, I just think it's funny how you try to ban TikTok, but TikTok banned you. Have a good one, Largo.
Are you not sure that you can afford college? Then community college may be a great option for you. Peer Forward presents the first mini seminar series. Is community college right for you? This seminar will take place today, Wednesday, January 13th, 2021, from 10:30 to 11 o'clock a.m.
Seniors therefore cordially invite you to be a part of the second virtual FAFSA workshop. This event will happen on Wednesday, February 17th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We will provide registration for this event soon.
My name is Mr. Elligood, your 11th grade assistant principal. Today I have some special guests with me. I have Ms. Parker from the illustrious 12th grade, and I have from the magnificent 10th grade, Miss Smith. How you guys doing today?
We are fine. And yourself?
I'm fantastic.
Doing good.
That's what's up. So today I decided to bring them on to kind of get some reflections from them regarding our latest events in the DMV and our nation's capital. So we're going to have about 5 questions we're going to talk about. with regard to what happened at the nation's capital, to kind of give you guys some feedback on where we stand as administrators and as people who actually live in Prince George's County as well with you guys. So I'm gonna start with the first question. The first question is, describe your initial reactions to the event that took place at the nation's capital, at the Capitol last week in one word. Then explain your thoughts behind your response. Who would like to go first?
Well, we were together, Parker. So
Yeah, we were actually in my office,
yeah.
uh, looking at it on CNN when we saw it, and so um, my first initial, because he said initial reaction was I was mad, I was upset, and I was mad and upset because I felt like it was injustice that was being done on the national stage, that we have so many Black and brown young children, people that try to do peaceful protests, that came out for Black Lives Matter, and that was not what we saw. And then we're looking at this, who's attacking our nation's capital, the highest in the land, our senators, and there were no, um, I guess the reaction, there was no consequences to the actions that I saw. What about you, Smith? Because you were in here calming me down.
Well, actually, my initial reaction was numb, and it kind of piggybacked off of meaning that I had actually no feeling just yet. And the piggyback off this Parker, where I was numb was actually watching privilege happen on screen. Um, of course, those folks laughed. Were not the same hue as our young people my age and your parents' age and a little older, who were uh, doing peaceful protests in the spring because of Breonna Taylor and Aubrey and so many of those lives that have been lost. So I was numb because I was like,
George
it
Floyd.
made sense. Yeah, George Floyd. It made sense to me why the police did not do what they were supposed to do against those insurgents, them rioters, them deplorables. Um, but then I was like, it makes sense that they did the total opposite in the spring all over this country, not just in the capital, to people who look like us and brown people, and of course, white people who were out there with us this last spring too. But after the numbness, that only lasted a minute. That's when I was disgusted because of that. And then the disgust went to another level because I am Black first and foremost, a descendant of Africans. However, I'm an American too. So how dare you topple over top of our democracy, come up in there with a Confederate flag, and we all know what that symbol stands for. It was the last insurgency that our country split over the issue of slavery and states' rights. So that just told me right there why y'all were even in there. So yeah, disgust was probably number two.
Yeah, and I think she calmed me down because after I went from mad and upset, I went to sad.
Mhm.
And I wanted something done immediately. And I feel I still want something done, but I want something done that people can see. Because what happens is, yeah, when our young Black and boys and people are protesting, you see on the news, you see the dogs after them, you see them get beat. Those images never leave your mind. You see the holes that's pouring the water all over them. You see spraying mace in their face. You see all of those images. And the one that stands out to me the most, and I think I text you guys, is the girl that is standing still, and she's standing there, and then all of these police officers in all this gear come at her with guns, and she's just standing there with her arms folded in the middle of the street, not moving, not doing anything, not vandalizing anything. And you see that image. I feel like with this, the punishment, we need to see the image of those punishments, because we need those images to replace the ones that we still have caught in our minds, and that the whole country needs to see that when you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. I want to hear about it. I want to see it in action,
regardless of color.
regardless of color. Amen.
I appreciate that. I was with you guys. I saw it come up on my phone. I was like, my initial reaction was shocked because I couldn't believe in my lifetime that this actually happened. And so, and then I moved to this is not going to end well for nobody. And as we saw, it didn't end well. We lost 5 lives on that day. Regardless of what your beliefs were, that's 5 lives that we shouldn't have lost that day.
Right.
And so that's the part that people die because of this situation. And that's unfortunate. And then we still have the remnants to deal with, even with a new president coming in. This is not going away. This country needs to figure out a way how to move forward in a peaceful manner that's beneficial for everybody and equity across the board.
Good. I know you're about to move to your next question. Go ahead. But I just wanted to say that our judicial system, if we are the United States of America, then these laws shouldn't be different in different states. We all should have the same judicial system, the same punishment across the board, no matter what state you're in. We really need to revamp, revisit, um, reflect on how our judicial system is run.
No, we need to reflect how we do elections in the first place and reflect on who we put in office. Now, see, we're supposed to go to question 2. But now that we said that, it's a bigger problem about who we put in office. And I'm not just talking about the presidency. I'm talking legislatively too. And then I'm also talking about local and state government.
Those senators make those decisions.
But let's even get down to state, you know? So
Governor.
Question 2, L.
Okay, I'm moving on. So it's really also how has this event impacted you personally? And I'll start with this one. For me, it was a difficult situation to explain to my 6-year-old daughter what was going on CNN as she sees all these images. And so for me, I had to have an interesting conversation with her about how things are supposed to be and how things are. And that was a difficult conversation to have because I don't think she fully grasped what the magnitude of the event was and how it could impact her years from now. So that was a difficult moment for me as a father, trying to figure out how do I, one, make sure my children are protected, being that I live so close to the nation's capital, and then help them understand how to deal with this, even when they don't understand what this is. So that's my struggle point.
Well, it's forever going to impact me, everything that I can't even say the last couple of years, because this is 472 years of just a culminating activity for our people. But always having a Black son. And now what's even scarier, you know, and has always been this way after thinking about Brianna, having a Black child, period.
Yes.
That fear of what can happen when they're not in your sight. That's the scary part. And that's a constant reminder for me that anything can happen because my son is 8 and eventually in a few years he'll be able to do things on his own and I can't watch everything. I can't. And so I'm a prayerful woman, but at the same time, I'm a realist and things happen. So that's how it impacts me. Another thing, and just in the spirit of transparency, honestly, whatever your beliefs are, and I know you started that earlier, Elle, I think if people, all of us, were grounded in the civics of our nation, how our government works and how it functions, there will be a lot less misinformation. We have politicians that don't understand how our government works. That's why we have all this stink about the electoral college and all these fallacies about rigged elections, because they don't understand how our government works, local, state, and national, how the voting process works. How do we stand against things that are against our belief system or that we want to change? How do we do it legally? And it made me think, am I even in the right position in terms of education with only 7 years left? Because I don't think we are really producing global civic-minded citizens at the school level. I don't. And I don't think it's always a parent's responsibility for that. I do think it's the school's responsibilities first.
So
to,
I'll say two things really quick so he can move to the next question. One, I agree with Michelle, Miss Smith. I'm
oh,
so
it's okay.
used to us being we're sitting here talking among ourselves. But I agree with Miss Smith, and I definitely um, feel that I learned things that I never knew about throughout this process for our electoral for the election. I didn't know that Congress then go and take those votes and they have to certify them. I never knew that process even exists. And so when it was all on the news, I stayed up, watched it. I needed to see it certified, and I never been through that process before. So it was a learning experience for me. So we always can grow and learn more about what we need to do. My second thing is you asked me, how did this event impact me personally? I left here because we were all working here in the building, normal. So I left here around 4:30, and as soon as I made sure my door was locked, I was on my phone calling my son, and I was like, "Where are you?" That was my second reaction is that I need him home. um, I need to lay eyes on him. And he was like, "What's up, mom? I'm at the gym working out with my friends." And I was like, "Guess what? I need you to come home right away." He was like, "Is everything okay? What's going on?" He had not even seen the news. He didn't even know what's going on. They're in the gym. And I was like, "Hey, look, we're good at home, but I need you there." So for me, it was laying my eyes on him. It impacted me so personally that I didn't know how much it was going to spill over into Maryland with it being in DC. And I didn't know what was going to happen and what uprise was coming, but I needed all the members of my house to be at home where I felt I can protect them. And so that's a thing for a lot of young Black men. We were constantly worried about what's going to happen to them when they're out dealing with situations that are not controlled like they should be by our police. Go ahead, El.
Much appreciated. Thank you for your responses. I'm gonna move to question number three. Um, what do you think the impact would be for not only Largo students, but the students of Prince George's County? Um, Even though we serve Largo High School in this community right here, I understand that there are a lot of schools closer to the nation's capital and the borderline that may have seen some different aspects of this in those students. So, what do you think the impact might be for them?
I'm going. I'm gonna tell you guys. This is as real as Miss Parker can get. Elegant is worried, but don't. My grandmother is West Indian. She's from St. Elizabeth, Jamaica,
Mhm.
and she grew up with this saying, and this is something that she has passed down from generations and generations. You have to be 3 times better than your white counterparts in order to be recognized. You have to be 2 times as better as any other minority if you want to be recognized. She says, but the one that you have to strive to be better than is yourself. And so I've always grown that I always got to push myself to be better. That's first. I got to be 2 times better than all my other minority people that I go up against, whether job or whatever. And I got to be 3 times better than any Caucasian white person out there in the world to be recognized. And she said that repeatedly to us. I know what 1, 2, and 3 means in my household. I know what it means in my life. And for these Largo students and this Prince George's community, we have to teach them that life is not fair. It's not. It's never going to be. So don't expect it to be. But you have to rise to the occasion and make it work for you. Make that American dream work for you. And you can't do that holding on to what's not fair. Let that go and just strive to be better. And everything else will fall into place. I'm a witness and testimony to that. And I thank God because He is the head of my life.
So I'm going to piggyback off Parker, to take it to a step further because I agree with what she said. Um, Making sure that you are equipped to be 2 and 3 times better than the next person also requires one other step. And I know we haven't used this saying in a couple of years. It seems like it's disappeared, but the whole concept of staying woke. You can't be 2 to 3 times better without knowing all the nuances of how our government works, um, how your job works, how school, the structure of school work, because that's a whole nother thing right there, that a lot of my juniors and seniors are starting to see. That falls into that thing that you need to know how the processes and structures work of a school. But being well informed about policies and procedures, the laws of the land, the consequences for it. Okay. And that's not just in terms of Largo High School or whatever university you're going off to, or community college or the military. That's everything you do in life. Please know your parameters, because when you know your parameters, well versed in them to the point that you ain't got to look them up, you know them because you abide by them, you follow them, that will make you 4 times better.
And can I just give them an example of what Michelle is talking about, since we're about to go into the last 2 weeks of school and we're about to end this quarter? What are we always telling y'all? Y'all got to check school max. Y'all got to check your grades. You have to make sure you know when grades are supposed to be in, how many grades per week, if your grades have been done on time, if the 50% rule needs to be applied, if there's balance. These are things that are rules and procedures that are put in place that you have to know, because you have to be your own advocate. And so in order to do that, just like Ms. Smith told you, you have to be knowledgeable in what's going on in your surroundings. And that talks about her civic mindedness that she brought up earlier. So this is going to affect Largo students and Prince George's County students, because they got to know the law. They got to know the rules and how to abide in them in order to succeed by being 2 and 3 times better than their next counterpart.
The thing is, no one hides the laws and rules and parameters from you. So I'm gonna give you 2 things. Ms. Parker brought up an example that is dear to heart to you guys, grading and reporting. The one beautiful thing about our county, they released everything out to parents, students, and teachers. The grading and reporting policy is sitting up on the website. You just put it in. 10th grade, I send it to you an email every week. So you should never not know the policy and procedure. You should be able to be so well versed in that you can quote it to me, a teacher, anyone, if you disagree with an outcome of something. But when you start thinking about broader scale, you need to be the same way about the laws of the land. What can they charge you with? You need to know about Miranda rights and things of that nature. Things that you never think you need to know about, you need to know about, and your rights within that as an American citizen. Okay. I can go on all day with that one. That's a good question, Neil.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I like that.
So it sounds like we need to have a balance between street smarts and book smarts, but I like the word civic minded.
Common sense is another one.
Common sense is not common.
And every adult doesn't have it either, children. It's some of you guys that, I'll be honest with you, in certain situations, you would have more common sense than I would, because of how you're built. You're way more resilient and stronger than I was at 15 in 1991. So.
Wow. Yes.
So to kind of piggyback off both of you guys, the impact, I think it's compounded due to us being on COVID restrictions for the most part, and then watching COVID restrictions being broken in mass on TV after we can't go to our own school building. And then the reasoning behind the event is it seems like it's not fair on so many levels, and it's not conducive to our growth, because of we're trying to abide by rules and nobody else wants to abide by.
And they don't get in trouble also if they don't abide by them.
So we have to be perfect just to be equal. So I completely understand that. you guys kind of already kind of spoke to the next question leading into it, a message that you guys would send to the student body to kind of help them move forward. Um, and I like the message that you guys gave us about um, meeting the being resilient to meet the standard, to go above and beyond. And it's unfortunate we have to do that just to be equal. And that's the tough pill to swallow day in and day out.
It just makes you stronger. There's nothing wrong with being stronger.
Understood. And it's tough, but I think knowing the Largo students, they are a resilient bunch, and they have done a wonderful job thus far this school year and in years past since I've been at Largo. So I expect nothing but the best from them. And again, congratulations to our posse winner that we have here at Largo High School, which is something that not every student is able to achieve. But I think we're 3 years in a row now. Is that correct? That we had a posse scholar here at Largo High School?
Yes, this is our second year in a row for Posse Scholar, and we would like to just say congratulations to Juwan Hall. Juwan Hall is our Posse Scholar. He has a full 4-year scholarship, full ride. So we are doing big things here at Largo High School. So I just want to thank the counseling team who Dr. Hawkins and the counseling team who assisted in making sure everything was done for him and got him all set up. And what we're trying to do is make it 3 years in a row. So I'm speaking to the class of 22. We are counting on you. Did you see that, class of 22? We're counting on you. Yes, we're counting on you to make it 3 years in a row, straight for Largo High School. We need a posse scholar. They do not give these scholarships out lightly. So we want to make sure that we keep this tradition alive. And so I need just one person from the class of 22 to become the next posse scholar.
Much appreciated. Any thoughts, Ms. Smith? I got
No,
you.
I'm good. I'm ready for next question. I
Okay.
can hear everything y'all said.
Any final thoughts with to share with the Lions then? Any final
Um,
thoughts before we get out of here?
my final thoughts is, you guys, we are in a tough situation, but a tough situation only makes us better when we come out of it. So I need everyone to not give up. I'm speaking to all classes. I need you to continue pushing. I need to see everybody move up a grade. I need my seniors to walk out of here with their heads held high. Remember, you are your brother's keeper. Make sure you keep each other encouraged, you assist and help one another so that we can all get through this finish line together. But for the Largo High School family, Ella Good, Miss Smith, and I have been with you since the very beginning. We are here to support you. We love you. And we want you to know we have your back. But guess what? Don't come to us with no foolishness. You must continue to strive for excellence, and we will help you get there. Straight from the Lion's Den.
Final words for me is just to stay safe. And that's just not physically around the pandemic, wearing your mask, washing your hands, but stay safe mentally and emotionally, students. Um, protect your mental space always, because your mind is the one thing no one can ever take away from you. And next is your heart. So protect that first and foremost. Um, Self love is the greatest love because it's a reflection of our Creator. So always remember that.
I love it.
Much
All
appreciated.
right, L, close us out. Close us out, L.
I don't know how I could top you two guys, but this is
Teamwork.
hard. I think that Largo is a very interesting and a very peculiar place only because these students are so strong in spite of what comes their way. They're able to overcome in spite of. And that, and me as an educator and as the assistant principal, it gives me a little bit more encouragement to kind of fight for them a little bit harder on their behalf. Because sometimes they don't have that people in their corner to kind of give them that edge they need once they leave these four walls. And so for them, just know that you have a team that's fighting for you. You have somebody that's supporting you. And all we ask is that you do your part. That's all we're asking for you, and we'll take care of the rest on our end. With that being said, thank you for listening. Thank you to Ms. Parker and Ms. Smith. I appreciate you guys. You throwing the L up for Largo. And I will catch you guys next week.
That's all for now, Largo Lions. See you again next week at the same time. Have a great week.